Hello everybody, my name is Luis Garcia. I'm a part-time trader and this is my weekly recap of all the stocks that I've been trading lately. Before I get started, I have to let you know that this video is for educational purposes only and is not meant to be taken as financial advice. So let's get started. I only have really two stocks to talk about this week, two trades I made. So let's talk about the big one first. So this one is called Intrusion Inc. It's a cybersecurity company. It's got about 16 million in the float, not a lot. And it pulled a very interesting move on Monday. It was really Friday into Monday. So Friday, it gaps up. It comes back down. Let me get my tool out here so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So Friday, it gaps up right here, gaps up. And then it came back down during the day, but got pushed back up. So as you can see, it closed in this almost a hammer candle, but because it gapped up, it's not really a hammer candle. A hammer is really at the bottom of a downtrend. So this indicates a lot of bullishness, especially on a gap up. So it was really interesting to see on Friday. I'd been kind of keeping my eye on it. So then Monday, I see on the gap scanner, on the pre-market momentum scanner, that it has gapped up even higher. I think it was up like 400% at one point. So it gaps up, hits a high of like 734 on Monday morning, and then gets pushed down. So I did a few things. The first thing I did is Monday morning, I took a couple momentum trades on it early in the morning, in and out, day trades, very quick. I made a little bit of money. I try to be careful on those types of trades, so I trade small size, don't want to lose my shirt, that sort of thing. So I made, I think it was like maybe 50, 75 bucks, something like that. Not a ton of money. And then what I decided to do, as the day was kind of going on and the morning was going on, I kind of liked how it looked. Let's see if we can see the 3-day chart here. We'll do a 15-minute. Let's see how that looks. All right, so here's the 15-minute. And you can see on the day that I traded it, back here. So I basically traded it right, in this area. During this first 30 minutes of the day, and I was done. So as the day kind of went on, I felt like it was holding very well, right? For being up 300% on a second day continuation play, right? That's a pretty big deal. And so I looked at the news. It didn't have any real news. I saw that it's an American company. It's a cybersecurity company. I looked at its filings. I didn't really see anything crazy like offerings in the mix or anything like that. I only saw this one piece of news. Streeterville Capital reports a 9.8% stake in Intrusion. So I was also looking around and I saw there were some rumors of a possible merger. There were some warrants being exercised. So again, I kind of liked the look of this being up so much and keeping and holding its price somewhat. So kind of as the day went on, I started to accumulate a position just a little bit. Pretty much over the next couple of days, I accumulated a position, just 100, 200 shares at a time, and with the intent to hold it into next week. And so right now I'm sitting at around an average of like $5. And yesterday it closed, you could see it popped up to 5. I was unfortunately working on something else, so I didn't see that pop. I don't know if I would have really gotten out of it during that time anyways, because I'm really looking for it to jump back up and test that high of 734 again. So right now I have about a 1,300 share position in the stake after full accumulation at around $5. So if I can get out around $7, that's a $2,600 winner. Not bad at all, right? So kind of looking for that type of play here. And so if you'll go look back at the daily, you can see this is where I did a lot of my accumulation. A good portion of it was down here because I was watching it test this gap. I was seeing how much of this gap was it going to fill, and it pretty much filled the whole thing, right? There's maybe a little bit left, but not a lot. I was also keeping an eye on the momentum and the RSI. So first thing to note about the momentum, it is increasing, believe it or not. So yes, it's pulled back a lot, but it is still steadily increasing. It doesn't have a ton of volume right now, right? For this pullback, this whole pullback was on very light volume, and then it had this big spike yesterday morning, right? So I think it shows potential for next week. If it could open around here, right, and then if it could break Friday's high, I could potentially see a test of the $7 mark very easily. So that's kind of where I'm at, and that's what I'm looking for next week, and we'll see how it goes. Stops down here at the gap fill, and we'll see how that goes. It's a risky play. I put quite a few on the line there, but like I said, I kind of really liked how it looked. I don't play these too often, so when I see something good, I try to go heavy into it, and hopefully it will reward me. If not, it'll be quite a loss, but looking at my profits for the past quarter, it won't make too much of a dent in them, so I'm okay with that. So the only other trade I made also on Monday was my Amazon puts. If you saw my last video from last week, you know that I took a position with a couple puts on Friday. I'm kind of seeing this kind of trend line set in, right? So last Friday, I took some puts at the $200. I believe it was at $200 was the strike price for January 31st. I was actually expecting it to pop up more this week, but it didn't. So it dipped below 220. I made almost, I think, like double on my puts, or like 50% on my puts, I think it was. And that was good enough for me to get out. I said, I'm done. I got this big position in INTZ, so I don't want to push it with risk. And I like it, and I like where I'm at. So I'm happy with how this trade went. I gotta say, I was looking at it yesterday, and I was looking at that trend line, and it looks like it came right back up to it. So it would have been interesting to get back into those puts to see if it continues lower. Next week into January, but we'll see. Well, I'm going to keep an eye on this. Again, the play really is that I keep hearing more and more about unionization in the drivers, and also just general worker conditions. I think that's going to start weighing on the fundamentals at some point, if it hasn't already. I know that there is a lot of talks with the Teamsters right now to get the drivers represented with the Teamsters. So if that comes more into the news, it'd be interesting to see how investors react to that. I would imagine it would be a bearish impact. So again, just kind of going to watch this trend line, see if it continues following this trend lower. And if I see a good opportunity and my risk profile looks right, I might get back in for another put or maybe a short. I like puts better because they're a little less risky. They give me a capped downside, right? But yeah, that's pretty much all I have for this week. Let me know down in the comments what you guys are trading, what you think about my trades, what you think about Intrusion or Amazon or anything else you're trading. And check out my deep dive. I did one on SOUN last week. I'll probably be releasing another one either this week or next week. Thinking about doing another AI stock. So keep an eye out for those as well. And please feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks, guys. See you next week.